If you're a health business owner with under 20 team members who's ever said, I don't own the clinic owns me, then this video is for you. Because the life of many allied health business owners looks a bit like this. They're the first in to work, they're the last out, they're treating patients all day, they're fixing rosters at night, they're handling staff drama after staff drama. You know what I mean? They get the Friday afternoon message from a team member that says, I need to talk to you, which essentially is code for I'm going to resign and how much you're going to pay me to stay or whatever, or re-evaluate my wage deal. The other thing that you notice with allied health business owners, they're missing family events. Everything depends on you. You can't take holidays because your revenue will drop too much. You spend sleepless nights worrying about cash flow or staff problems. Essentially, you're trapped in your practice, yet your team, they leave at the end of the day, no worries. They'll go home, they'll go and play tennis, cricket, whatever they decide to play, and don't think at all about the business. The team makes more money than you, and their wage is guaranteed. You could argue, and it's a fair argument, the team have a better life than you. They take holidays, they get sick leave, they parental care, all the other leaves they get, and they don't really think about the business success at all. Now, and maybe you're thinking, yeah, but hang on, Roddy, I'm the main biller bringing 60% of the revenue, and if I'm not treating, we're not making money. Or maybe you've had good staff leave before and you're constantly training replacements, never getting ahead. Or maybe you've tried business coaching, you've tried business systems, and they've just collected dust because you're too busy to launch them into your practice. Well, what I'm about to share with you in this video changes everything. Give me some examples. We've got James, for example, who had 2 clinics, was working 40 hours a week, no holidays, hadn't had a holiday for 3 years. Every time he went away, something went wrong. Now, James treats 1 day a week by choice. His profits are up. He just spent a month in the USA with his family, and he wasn't contacted once by his team. We've got Sandra, a 25-year veteran healthcare provider. She sent me an email in absolute crisis. It was just a long email. It came out of nowhere. Her main therapist had resigned and was going to open up down the road, and she was at her wit's end, and she was going to just shut the clinic down. Now she's had a 4-week holiday in Europe, and the clinic didn't miss a beat. And while she was away, she sent me this email. And the subject line was quick question about work. And I thought, well, Sandra's supposed to be away on holidays. And when I opened the thing, she said, just joking, here's a photo of me with my son in a pub in London, which, again, that's what this is all about. This is what about the business serving you. Or we've got Jonathan, who's a great practice owner. He attended one of our live events in Canada. He's toyed with some of our online content, attended some webinars, even a live event or two, but he was still doing 30+ hours a week, and it just wasn't going how he wanted it to go. We worked with Jonathan, removed him from his clinic roster, systemized his business, and he just sold his clinics for 5 times the previous offer, so 5 times more than what he would have got before. Now, these aren't special cases. These are regular owners just like you. Because what I've seen over the years, there's a dream versus a reality for many practice owners. And I get it because I've been exactly where you are with that. My dream when I started my first practices as a physio was flexible hours, good money, be present with the kids. The classic Michael Gerber E-Myth entrepreneurial myth. I thought instead of working with someone else, I'll build my own business and work for myself. We all know the reality of that. I was the first in, the last out. I was jumping between everything. It's almost like, those rubber toys that the kids have where you can pull them in all different directions. And that's kind of how it felt. It felt for me in my practice. And so I started my practice, Paul G. Wright Physiotherapy, which was a lesson in stupidity to start with, name it after yourself. But I was in the treatment room, Paul G. Wright Physiotherapy. I had a room that looked at, and I could see the sun come up, and I'd see it get dark at the end of the day from this treatment room. I started employing team members, same stresses that you've probably had. They'd leave or they'd open up the road or whatever. And then the pivotal time for me, I think, was the arrival of my 4th daughter. So I've got 4 daughters. The arrival of my 4th daughter. I'm a slow learner. I remember after the youngest one was born, I had to leave Helen in the hospital because I had to get back to work. I missed that time. And it made me realize how much I was missing out on, and maybe what I'd also missed out on before. Now, fortunately, at that time I was heavily involved in the fitness industry, so I was lecturing a lot in fitness, in the fitness world. And the beautiful thing about the fitness industry, when I'd go and lecture in their conferences, they had a very, very good business strand. Like a business was big because gyms were a business, and I learned a lot of my early business work from the fitness conferences. But the key insight I got from my work in the fitness industry, as I said, gyms were businesses. They delivered profits and better lives for their owners, and they also sold for great returns. And looking at the fitness industry and looking at allied health where I came from, I realized that health clinics are designed to serve everyone except the owner. The patients get looked after, your staff get looked after, your landlord gets looked after, suppliers get looked after, but not you, the practice owner. And I saw this, so I set about learning everything I could, not just in those conferences, but every other course or mentor, other things I get my hands on about business. So marketing, sales, recruitment. Interesting enough, all the things we didn't learn at university about running a great business. End result, you fast forward that, I end up with 6 clinics, 5 of them in Sydney, 1 in Newcastle. I didn't go to them. I didn't go to them regularly. So I was definitely less than 3 days a week, sometimes 1 day a week. I had a 6-week overseas trip with my family every year with absolutely no impact on the revenue. And they used to laugh, that staff would argue, and they'd say that it's actually more profitable when I wasn't there because I was in everyone's road. So I then went around, I started teaching other business owners how I did it. So I wrote the book, How to Run a 1-Minute Practice, focused on that. And I started as teaching owners how I did it, how to run a practice without being there. I eventually sold my practices for excellent prices to focus on Practiceology, which is what I'm talking about today, and helping other health business owners do what I did, earn more, work less, and enjoy their lives. And there's a business lesson in just what I did then in terms of finally selling the practices. The ultimate aim of your business is to sell it. And your job as an owner, while you've got it, is to make sure you keep increasing the potential sale price of that practice. And one guiding light, if I can share it with you, is if every decision you make in the business, is what you're about to do going to increase or decrease the sale price of your practice? Now, dropping you from the consulting roster is definitely going to increase the sale price of your practice. It's counterintuitive because the more you're it, the less it becomes valuable to someone else. Anyway, what I did learn though in my personal journey to business freedom was that your current business situation, or the situation most owners find themselves in, it's not their fault. So it's not your fault. The health professions are littered with bad advice. And here's some things that destroy practice owners. You might have heard some of this. Patients come first. Now, customer is always right. Even when those decisions are breaking you, it's absolute rubbish. Just be an excellent clinician and success will follow. That's what we were taught at university. Be a great professional, be great technically, and you'll be a great success in your profession. It's not certainly not as a business owner in allied health, it's not. Here's another one. You must stay hands-on to ensure patient quality. So you have to keep treating patients to ensure quality. Absolute rubbish. And patients only want to see you as the practice owner. They only want to see you, which again, I can tell you is also total rubbish. Now, the results of this bad advice, they're great for the team members of your practice. They're great for them, but it creates a very fragile business and totally exhausts the owners. What you must realize is this bad advice is great for team members, but it's deadly for practice owners. So that being said, what should an owner get from their practice? In our world, in the world that I live in and train owners in, the clinic or the business that you have should give you more life, not consume it. So it should be giving you more life than if you were a team member. You should earn more than your team, and well, a lot more than your team. You deserve a lot more time off than your team, and as much time as you want to take off without panic or without stress. The business needs to reward you, essentially. It should run without you to allow you to do that. My beautiful wife, Helen, and I, we allocate every Friday was date day when I had the practices. So every Friday we'd go to the movies, we'd go for lunch, we'd do whatever. And because we could do that, I know I probably couldn't do that as a team member, but I could do it because I owned the practice and did my own hours. That meant any rubbish or crap that I dealt with during the week with the team, I would trade that off because, well, I get at least to get a 3-day weekend every week. And so it was always more than that, but at least a 3-day weekend. Your clients and our team members do the same thing. Your business must reward you. If it doesn't reward you, it's draining you, which led to me creating my personal mission statement after going into teaching and selling the practices and teaching health business owners business. My personal mission became returning owners to their families. That's kind of what it was all about. And that led to our Practiceology tagline. We teach health business owners how to run a health practice in 3 days a week or less and take at least 4 weeks off a year without losing income. So run your business in 3 days a week or less and take at least 4 weeks off a year without losing income. Because when you do that, here's the truth. Happy owners make better decisions. Your team performs better. Your patients get a better outcome. Everyone wins. So that's our aim at Practiceology. So what's when you look under the cover, under the hood of this, what's really going on and why are so many practice owners in crisis? I can tell you what it's not. It's not your work effort. It's not, you're often the hardest working person in the practice. It's rarely, if ever, your clinical skills, because you're probably an excellent therapist. So what is it? What's stopping you achieving what you want in your business? Apologies for this. It's you. You're the bottleneck. You don't know what you don't know. You've got bad advice and you think it's all true and you don't know what to do next to fix it. And that's what we call owner clarity. What's the best next step? So it's you. It's also your team. They're not built or trained to protect profit because there's a therapist profitability issue. And it's also your admin team because they're leaking revenue every day, and that's an admin efficiency problem. So without ways to fix this, every holiday costs you thousands, every resignation's a threat, every opportunity to grow your practice, whether it's employ a new team member and expand a new location, is more pressure, more stress, not freedom. Now, you've got your own version. We talk about the Cumberland curse. Your university education teaches you this garbage. And our blueprint's very different. In our model, the owner comes first. And there are 3 pillars to the Practiceology blueprint. So you've got your own blueprint. We've got one that we think you should be using. It's the Practiceology blueprint. Owner clarity, therapist profitability, admin efficiency. They're the 3 components of the Practiceology model, and they free you from your practice. For example, Julie had no owner clarity problem. So she came to us believing she had to be the first there, the last to go. She had the belief that this won't work because patients expect to see me all the time. She also believed that she could just train her team herself. She thought she could do it. And when she nearly quit after the first couple of weeks. But we implemented what we call the Practiceology framework, where we do the team training for you. We launched our recruitment program, recruitment, retention and cancellation and team culture program, and that removed her staff hassles and let her enforce her systems, because without having good recruitment, she's worried about enforcing her systems because she's worried they'd leave. She finally realized the team would listen to us and our training, and as a result, she's doing less than 10 hours a week, the team's happier, and revenue's up over 20%. Paul joined us. He had a therapist profitability issue, high cancellation rates. You know, it's like therapists join and they don't have clear action plans. Give me a call in a few weeks, let me know how you're going. You know, just poor booking systems. They had their own Cumberland curse, their own money barriers going on. So we installed the cancellation reduction system and went over the framework with his team. The result, full books, single digit cancellations. Jane came to us. She had an admin efficiency problem. Lots of patchwork part-time adminers, patients falling through the cracks. So we launched the front desk training system. We put in 1 or 2 key front desk systems and scoreboards. The result, higher profits, better reviews, and European trips. So it's what we realized over time, it's too slow to do it on your own, and your team won't listen to you. The other thing we realized when we got more and more into Practiceology is our program originally was about training the owners, but there's been a major switch. We now, there are owner clarity things we do, but a lot of it is about providing the team training for you, because your team won't listen to you. They just don't. But they will listen to us. So all the programs we have, which I'll show you in a second, they are all about training your team and also helping you recruit better, because then you make that part of your recruitment strategy. Join us and you get training, all these things. Anyway, so what's the system that created these transformations? It's the Practiceology Health Business Freedom Program. It's the same systems I use to remove me from my practices, run clinics, travel overseas each year. The same systems we use to help, that have helped hundreds of practice owners around the world earn more, work less, and enjoy their life. Let me show you the model so you can make you can see where it fits into the whole thing. Okay, so here we see this is the Practiceology model, and it essentially undermines the middle is freedom. So what you want out of this whole program is freedom. And for that's running your practice 3 days a week or less, and take at least 4 weeks off a year without losing income. That's a goal we have. That's our freedom. So 3 days a week or less, and 4 weeks holiday a year without losing income. So your dream outcome as a result of this program, the practice works predictably, profitably, without you being on the tools all the time. You work by choice, not by necessity. The business works for you. So that's the dream outcome. You never miss school events, you reduce your consulting hours, you stop worrying about resignations, understaffing issues, you increase profits without carrying the clinic on your back. We see so many owners that because their team are draining them so much, they have to consult to make enough money to pay the staff, which is just terrible. And it removes you as the bottleneck of the business. So you see from there, we have our pillars. So we want to earn more, work less, and enjoy our life. That's what we want. Pillar 1 is owner clarity. And you see outside of each of these pillars, we've got the different programs that you have access to, or our members have access to. And depending on what you need, we look at which program you need to go to. The owner clarity, for example, it might involve a 12-month exit roadmap, recruitment. So our recruitment program and getting your recruitment systems in order, helping you make weekly decisions, what to do next, task boundaries, your personal clarity journey. There's so many things you can do as a practice owner. And when people join our program, we do a business freedom blueprint session. We work at exactly what the next best thing is. It might be fix their marketing, patient attraction. It might be leadership. It could be getting better with AI. It could be the framework, the fundamentals. It could be recruitment, or it could be one of the other programs. But we look at what you specifically need and put you in the right direction with exactly the right system. And that gives you owner clarity. There's too many owners have so many things they could do, and as a result, do nothing. So we point them, this is what you need to do. And as an aside, a lot of our clients start with the framework program. So we put the fundamentals into their business early and we start there. But you may be different. But owner clarity, that's determined in your business freedom blueprint session. Pillar 2, therapist profitability, job scorecards, KPIs, reducing reliance on key team members in case they leave. So you might have to reduce cancellations. It might be fixing dropouts, which is another program. It might be helping them convert and sell better. It might be getting their referrals better, their Google reviews up. So all these programs fit underneath therapist profitability. And then we've got pillar 3, admin efficiency. So scorecards, conversions, KPIs for admin team members, lead handling, bookings, waiting list management, increasing capacity. And now it might be don't have to complete the front desk training system. Maybe it's working 1 minute practice system. Maybe it's getting better with patient experiences. So essentially we look at what you want, what's your definition of freedom, work out from you which of these things we need to focus on, owner clarity, therapist profitability, admin efficiency, or all of them. And then we use our programs to train your team and to a certain extent you on how to do all this. That's how the framework works in Practiceology. Because over my years and years of doing this, owners want 3 things when they come into our program. They want a plan, so what to do next, which is what I've just outlined for you, and we'll work that out in the business freedom blueprint. They need the tools. It's just too slow to do it on your own, and they won't listen to you anyway. your team. We know that, but they will listen to someone else, especially people that have done it over and over again. So you need the tools, and it's too slow to create them on your own. And how to get help. And Practiceology, we have weekly roundtables. We get together regularly and we help you achieve your outcomes. So it's the plan, the tools, and the help. And I sometimes put this up on my presentation. It's called the 4 Futures model. The thing with the 4 Futures model, now let's say over the right-hand side here is, let's say it's time with your family, hours per week with your family. What we do know is if you do nothing about it, it's not going to change. If you're not spending much time now, it's not going to change. It might even get worse. And it may get worse. Let's say you increase your consulting, or you do other things. One of your team members leave and it's down to you. So you'll get less and less hours with your family. And it becomes, after 1 year, it's a poor result. Or you lose all your team, something happens and you do all of it, and it's on the way to disaster. As opposed to where we want you to get. Let's say we're reducing your face-to-face hours, increasing family time. We put you up into here, and then we put you up into here, because the difference is if you don't do anything and you end up here, it's a big jump to get you from here back to here and up to here. Historically, every client we've ever had said they wish they'd started earlier. So don't wait to get down here. It's too big a gap to get back up to here. Big decisions happen here. Everyone's at the same position here, and you decide where it goes from here. Anyway, I hope that sort of makes sense for you. So some results happening now we see with clients. Owners, 3 days a week or less is one of our main goals. 4-week international trips. We've had clients going all over the world, coming back, no issues. Single-digit cancellation rates. Very important to get single-digit cancellation rates if you can get that. Hopefully you can. Happier teams, better patient outcomes, higher sale valuations. As I said, is what you're about to do going to increase or decrease the sale price of your practice? And building a business, not just creating a job for yourself. Now, that being said, I do want to mention Gavin. We've got a couple of Gavins, it's a theoretical Gavin. The therapist that loves consulting, the practice owner that loves consulting. Now, I used to want all of our clients to drop their consulting. I just thought that's what you should do. But some therapists, some owners love it. And that's so he keeps doing it, but he does it with reduced hours because he wants to, not because he has to. He's not doing 40 hours a week consulting. So he does what he loves, which is treating patients, and he leaves a lot of the team training and other things to us. Now that, again, I'm not stopping you from consulting, because a lot of therapists, and you train to be a professional, you love doing it, but when you're doing that with everything else, it's just too much on your plate. And remember, all these examples I've given you, they're regular owners who are exactly where you are now. So a couple of questions. Does the system work in countries other than Australia? You've worked it on Australian. Yeah, it works Australia, New Zealand, US, Canada, USA, Asia. We've had clients all over the world. So what do you get? The complete Practiceology system ready to implement. We don't do sales calls. There's no pressure. Just the system that's already helped hundreds of practice owners around the world. We do weekly roundtables to keep you on track. The team training library is there for you and your team. And a lot of our best clients will use that as a recruitment tool, and also a lot of their onboarding. Before a new therapist or admin person starts, they've got to watch the specific programs and complete the manual. So they come, as some of our members like to say, that the team member that arrives on day one with batteries included. And we always have a guarantee in our program. If it doesn't work, you don't pay for it. So if you're ready to own your clinic instead of it owning you, if you're ready to plan your 4-week overseas trip without losing income, if your family, I suppose, has been waiting long enough, you need to be rewarded as a practice owner for the risks and the effort you've taken to create your practice. I'd love to help you do it. We've done it all multiple times over. We'd love to help. So click the link under this video to find out about our next Practiceology intake, and I look forward to seeing you in the program.